A reading from the letter to the Hebrews. Brothers and sisters, every priest stands daily at his ministry, offering frequently those same sacrifices that can never take away sins. But this one offered one sacrifice for sins and took his seat forever at the right hand of God. Now he waits until his enemies are made his footstool. For by one offering he has made perfect forever those who are being consecrated. Where there is forgiveness of these, there is no longer offering for sin. The word of the Lord.
Our second reading is taken from the letter to the Hebrews. We have been reflecting on hope for the future. In the first reading from Daniel, we see that hope is first and foremost directed at God, the God who is close to God's people, a God who will send Michael to be the guardian of his people subjected to persecution and suffering. But there is also an act of hope when we persevere in justice, in righteousness, and in wisdom. Even if we are surrounded by uncertainties, temptations, one attitude of hope is, I will remain faithful to the justice of God. Now, in the second reading, we are given another reason to hope for our future, and it is Jesus himself. There is a name for our hope, Jesus. So we do not hope in like a good life, in a more comfortable life. For us, our hope is a person, Jesus. And according to the second reading, Jesus, our high priest, has already offered his whole life as a sacrifice pleasing to the Father for our sake. And his sacrifice is so perfect that we can rely on the power of that sacrifice. That sacrifice has the power to perfect us in our salvation. My dear brothers and sisters, these words seem to be beyond our human intelligence to grasp. We need the eyes of faith. For every day, we are confronted with our personal imperfections. We feel that sometimes our lives are not progressing the way we want them to progress. When we look around us, it's the same story of injustice, poverty, suffering. Yet, the second reading assures us, do not lose hope, for you have a high priest who has offered a perfect sacrifice to the Father. And this perfect sacrifice has the power to save you. And in fact, seated at the right hand of the Father, Jesus is waiting until all of his enemies, the enemies of God, the enemies of the followers of Christ, are subjected. My dear brothers and sisters, when you feel weary, tired, or sometimes even despairing, for you seem to be losing the battle with internal enemies and with exterior enemies, please do not lose hope. Someone has already won, Jesus Christ, with his perfect sacrifice, and he is there, eternally pleading on our behalf before the Father. Is there reason to be despairing? No. In Jesus, there is only reason to hope.